14 minutes into a World Cup match, a referee points to the penalty spot. The replay screen goes dark. No graphic, no explanation. Just a decision, and thousands of fans in the stadium left staring at a blank monitor, wondering what they just watched. That actually happened. Qatar against Switzerland, Group Stage 2026. And it wasn't a glitch anyone could laugh off. It exposed something that's been quietly dividing this entire tournament. Here's the part that should bother every fan watching this World Cup. The technology built to make offside calls perfectly fair might be the single most confusing thing in the sport right now. If you've ever screamed at a screen because a goal got ruled out by what looked like nothing, an armpit, a heel, a shadow of a doubt, you already know exactly why this matters. Because that confusion isn't going away. It's happening in almost every knockout match. Let's go back to that Qatar-Switzerland game for a second, because it's the clearest example of the problem. Switzerland's Remo Freuler went down in the box. The referee pointed to the spot. Embolo scored. Standard stuff except replays appeared to show Freuler in an offside position just before the foul. Fans expected the usual 3D offside graphic, the one FIFA has used all tournament to settle exactly these arguments in seconds. It never appeared. FIFA later blamed a brief technical outage. The decision stood, but the damage was already done because for a few hours, nobody outside FIFA actually knew if the call was right. To understand why this keeps happening, you need to go back further than 2026. Offside itself is one of football's oldest rules, older than substitutions, older than penalty shootouts, older than the World Cup itself. The idea has always been simple. An attacker can't loiter behind the last defender waiting for a pass into an empty net. For over a century, that call belonged entirely to a linesman's eye, standing on the touchline judging a moving line in real time. It was never perfect, it was human. Then came the cameras. Then came VR. And now, at this World Cup, comes semi-automated offside technology, a system of tracking cameras that draws the exact defensive line the moment the ball is played, then generates a graphic showing precisely where every player stood. FIFA built this specifically to remove the guesswork. The tragedy is, it's done the opposite. Here's how it's actually supposed to work. The system sends an automatic alert to the assistant referee if a player is more than 10 centimeters offside. Beyond that margin, the call is instant. Below it, anything closer than 10 centimeters, the system can't decide on its own, and it kicks over to a manual VAR check instead. That's the part almost nobody understands watching at home. The technology isn't fully automatic. It's automatic until the margin gets tight, and then a human is back in the loop, deciding under exactly the kind of pressure the technology was supposed to remove. That grey zone has already changed real results. Iran had a stoppage time goal against Egypt, wiped off the board a goal that would have sent them into the knockout stage for the first time in the country's history after a VAR review ruled the scorer's back was fractionally over the line. Colombia lost a second half goal against Portugal the same way, a call so marginal it dragged an old, rejected idea back into the conversation. Former Arsenal manager Arsène Wenger's proposal that an attacker should stay onside as long as any single part of their body that can legally play the ball is still level with the last defender. FIFA hasn't adopted it. The Canadian Premier League is quietly trialling it this season, watching to see if it changes anything before anyone dares bring it anywhere near a World Cup. So why does FIFA keep using a system that keeps causing this much confusion? Because the alternative is worse, and history already proved it. Before automation, offside decisions came down entirely to a human eye trying to judge two moving lines of players at full sprint from 30 yards away in a fraction of a second. Marginal calls got missed constantly, and nobody could ever check them properly afterward. The technology exists to fix exactly that blind spot, and when it works cleanly, it does. Fans got to see, almost instantly, a graphic proving a call was correct down to the centimeter. The problem was never the concept. The problem is what happens in the split second the graphic doesn't load, or the margin sits just close enough that a machine has to hand the decision back to a person. And that's really the whole story of offside at this World Cup. It's not one villain, one bad referee, one broken piece of software. It's a rule built for precision, running on a system that's precise almost all of the time, and almost is exactly where every argument you've watched this tournament has been living. The line itself hasn't changed in 100 years. What changed is that now, for the first time, fans can actually see how close it always was.